Well, hey, real estate fans, welcome back to the Southern Oregon podcast for market statistics. I'm Alice Lema, John O. Scott Real Estate. Our week last week was stellar, little hard to beat. This week, our year-to-date numbers they're not as drastically moving because the market is showing signs of stability. But we don't have 100% great news. But we still have good news in the right department with an upward trend, which is really what we want to look for long term. So let's start with Josephine County this week. This is for the week ending March 18th, 2024. Josephine County prices year over year were down 1%, basically neutral. The average single family home in Josephine County this week costing $396,191. The number of sold year over year were up 5%. Yay. That's a good number. There were 18 closed residential sales on SOMLS this week. The number of listings year over year in Josephine County were up 6%. Hallelujah. There were 274 active residential listings on SOMLS this week in Josephine County. We had 0 foreclosures closed, 0 short sales closed, and $0 million closed in the residential market in Josephine County this week. Jackson County prices year over year this week were down 3%. The average single family home in Jackson County this week closing at $450,587. The number of sold year over year in Jackson County this week were down 17%. We're still having some inventory problems. 32 residential closings on SOMLS this week in Jackson County. The number of listings year over year in Jackson County were up 5%, which is great. We had 635 active residential listings in Jackson County on SOMLS this week. We had 0 foreclosures closed, 0 short sales closed, and $0 million closings in the residential market in Jackson County this week. Clamed County prices year over year were down 12%. Let's see, the average single family home in Clamed County this week closing at $314,800. The number of sold year over year in Clamed County were up 66% this week. That has to do more with this week last year being a little on the stinky side, but still a 66% uptick in number of solds in Clamed County this week. There were 10 closings on SOMLS in the residential markets. The number of listings year over year in Clamed County were down 2% this week. There were 213 active listings on SOMLS in Clamed County in the residential market this week. We did have 1 foreclosure close in Chiloquin for $63,000. We had 0 short sales closed and $0 million sales closing in Clamed County this week. Now, I do want to take a quick tangent and talk about foreclosures. In order for a foreclosure to show up as a closing, as a recorded sale, that means that whoever the person was that owned the house was not able to sell it or remedy the foreclosure before it got sold to somebody else. It's a very long process in Oregon. We can talk about that on another podcast. The reason I'm bringing it up is because I was successful in closing a pre-foreclosure very near the sale date, which is hard to do. I want to say thank you to First American Title. They went way out of their way to help this family. It was a difficult situation, and it had been a year-long process trying to get the property sold to avoid a foreclosure. Most people have plenty of equity in their property because of what's happened in the last 4 or 5 years. But if you are worried about that, if you're worried about a short sale, I do those. I'm very experienced in them. But I want to be your agent regardless. Great listing agent, great buyer's agent, do well with rural property, first-time home buyers, downsizers, work for a lot of estate attorneys and do a lot of probate work, estate work, and such. So give me a call, give me a text, 541-301-7980. That's 541-301-7980. And let's at least have a conversation. By the way, want to make sure you guys check out the podcast this week. We're talking about the changes coming from the NAR hoopla, and some of them have to do with commission disclosure and a couple of other things. Make sure you check it out. It's not a very long podcast. And also the radio show, we had Fed Week analysis by Guy Giles mid-month. Had some surprises from the Fed this week. So make sure to look at the radio show on the newsletter that you'll be getting. In the meantime, have a great Southern Oregon weekend. Call me, text me, and let's talk about your real estate needs.